Hello friends, welcome to video number 2 of my Silly Goose Stamp-a-Stack. I'm Ruth Norton with Ruth's Stamping Corner. Yesterday we made this really cute happy birthday. The Silly Goose told me it's your birthday. We made this really cute card in our Silly Goose Stamp-a-Stack. The Stamp-a-Stack makes 3 of every card. This was yesterday's card. Today we are going to make this really cute card. We're going to make 3 of these, and then tomorrow we're going to make, this is our final card, we're going to make 3 of these. So we're going to set this one aside for today. We are going to make this one. This one is so cute, one of my favorites for sure. We're going to make 3 of these. Now in video number 1 I showed you how to prep your DSP in your in your class kit. If you get the class kit, you will get a stack of the Dandy Designs DSP, and I showed you how to cut and prep it. And so today we just need to get to the card making part of it. All right, so what you're going to do, you're going to pull out the little pieces that are 1 by 1.5. We're going to save those for video number 3. You're going to need those 3 pieces that are 4 by 1/2 inch piece each. And then you're going to pull out these. And I am going to pull out, which one do I want? You know what? I think I'm going to pull out this Coastal Cabana pattern. And I'm going to save the polka dots for the last video. So I'm going to put these in a stack, and I'm going to put these aside for our video number 3. So this is the pattern these are the ones I'm going to use. And you know, maybe I'm going to go with that plaid. I really like that plaid. So we're going to set this aside. We're going to come back to the DSP in just a minute, but let's talk about our stamping. So I have already stamped my goose. In your class kit, in your card kit, there will be these papers in these pieces of cardstock in your kit, and you're going to stamp the goose. I stamped it just above that 1/2 inch line. I wanted them in the top half, and I've already colored 2 of them. So let's go ahead and color our 3rd one for our card. This one is easy coloring. We're going to start with our pale papaya. I'm going to start with my pale papaya light, and we're just going to color the beaks with the light. I'm going to give them a good little wash of color, and I'm going to do the same with the feet. Color those with the light pale papaya, and we're going to do the dark pale papaya, and I'm going to come in, give them a little bit of shading on that beak. I'm going to leave the tip of the beak the lightest, and come in, go down the legs and a little bit on the feet with the dark pale papaya. Come back in with the light and just kind of blend that onto the beak. Not a lot, just kind of touch it. All right, now for the geese themselves, and just like in the first video, we're going to use light smoky slate and our color lifter. I like to use my brush tip for my color lifter, and then the light smoky slate. And for the birds, we're just going to give them a little bit of shading where there's going to be some shadows. So his wing back there, under his wing here, kind of along his legs, along his back, and then I did a little bit behind his head. I'm going to do the same with this one. This one I'm going to go down his wing here, kind of along his wing where he's doing his little fist bump, and then just along the feet and the back a little bit. All right, now take that color lifter, and we're just going to kind of soften up that color. We're just going to add some shading. We're not trying to color the goose gray. We just want to add a little bit of shading, and this really blends that color out and just gives it that nice shading that we're looking for. Now, if you missed yesterday's video, make sure that you scroll back either on YouTube or on my blog. You can find the details on this Silly Goose Stamp-a-Stack on my blog. If you want to get the class kit for this, it is available for $25. All you need to do is email me. They are ready to ship, so as soon as I get your payment, they will ship. You're going to get the supplies for 9 cards. You're going to get that stack of DSP. You're also going to get 30 of the iridescent pearls that you're going to use on your card, and then of course all the supplies for your card. All right, so that is all the coloring on our little goose. That's it. We are ready to go. We have one more bit of stamping to do. I'm going to grab some Coastal Cabana ink, and we're just going to stamp our greetings. I just have a little scrap of white here, and just like in the first video, I'm just going to stamp it along the bottom, and we are going to trim these out. So we have one that says Goosebumps, and one that says sending a big honkin' thanks. Just super cute. Okay, so we're gonna trim these out. I'm gonna grab my little mini trimmer, and I'm just going to, on the thanks, I'm gonna cut off right next to the words. And then I'm going to leave a little bit on the front because we're going to make it a little banner. And I'm just going to cut it down to the size of that word. Okay, now for the goosebumps, we're going to do it the opposite. We're going to cut it onto the left side, and then we're going to trim the height of it, but we're going to leave room on the right side to make a little banner. All right, so that's it. I'm going to move these little scraps out of the way, put my trimmer away, and we are ready to start assembling. I'm going to move all my greetings out of the way. I've already pre-stamped all of my greetings for my cards, so I'm just going to move these off to the side while we assemble our card bases and our DSP. We're going to start with our DSP. Now we are going to glue that 1/2 inch strip just on top of one of those pieces of the 2x4 DSPs. So let's start with that before we adhere it to our card bases. So I am going to choose, let's see, I'm going to go with this pattern, I think, for all of them. And so this is the fun part. You really get to decide what you want to do. I'm going to go in with that pattern. And this one, and oh, that's pretty. I think we're going to go purple with that one. Yeah, I think we're going to go purple. So go ahead and put adhesive on the back of these. And then just kind of adhere that down. I'm not going all the way to the top. I'm leaving probably like 1/4 inch along the top here. And then if your measurements are a little off, that's okay. Just give it a little trim. That's all right. Get that piece out of the way. Okay, we're going to do the same with this one. I'm going to glue it almost all the way to the top. And the same with this one. This DSP just all coordinates so well together. You know, let's go with this pattern. Let's switch this one up a little bit. We'll go with this one. It'll give us a good variety of cards here. So I'm going to trim this, and I'm going to trim this one just a little bit. Okay, so these are ready to go. Before we adhere them onto our card, I do want to add some twine. So in your card kits, you're going to get some of the basic gray twine. This is from our Essentials kit. And I'm going to just tie a bow. I just want to tie it right around, kind of where that, pull it more this way, right where that seam is on those two DSPs meeting. That's kind of where we're aiming for this bow. So I'm going to tie this on, and we're just going to tie a bow. We're going to do this for all 3 of them. You want to do this before you adhere it to your card, because you can't do it after you adhere it. You can, but you might have to rip apart your card. And I'm going to leave it kind of right in the middle for now, and I'm going to trim it all later. So I'm just going to leave it just like that for now. We're going to catch up our other 2. The Silly Goose stamp set is maybe one of my favorites. It's really cute. I do love it. I hesitated on getting it at first, but the more that I saw it, the more I thought, yeah, this is a stamp set I need. The Silly Goose stamp set is unique in the fact that when you order it, you actually get to choose if you want photopolymer or cling mount. There are benefits to both, so it's really maybe more of a preference of what you want. I chose to get mine in photopolymer, mostly because I know that I will be doing a lot of coloring with the Stampin' blends on them. If I was doing a lot of watercolor, I probably would have gone for the cling mount stamp, because the StazOn that you need to use when you watercolor is not good for the photopolymer stamp sets. So if I knew I was going to be doing a lot of watercoloring, then I would probably go for the cling mount stamps, because that's going to extend the life of my stamp set. But I do probably 99% of my coloring with the Stampin' blends. And so for that fact, I really prefer the photopolymer, just so I can kind of see what I'm doing. Okay, so we have all our bows ready to go. Now let's get these onto our pieces of white here. We're going to stick these on. Actually, let's go ahead and stick them onto our card bases first. So we are going to get our card bases ready. The card bases will come scored in your kit. All you have to do is fold and burnish them. All right. And we are going to adhere these down. So I'm going to go ahead and flip these over, and I'm going to put adhesive on the back of all 3 of these, and we're going to adhere them down to the card bases. Now, if you're making these at home, if you're making your own kit, all the measurements for all the cards will be listed on my blog for the day that they post. So you can check my blog for all of the measurements. There's a link in the video description that will take you back to my blog if you need that link. check the video description. And then if you do want to get that card kit to make all 9 of these cards, that link is in the video description too. It'll take you down to my blog and tell you how to get this card kit. I do have a limited supply, so once I'm out of these Stamp-A-Stack kits though, I will be out of them. So just make sure that you grab these early while they're still available. Okay, so we have some adhesive on those. I'm just going to bring my bow down just a little bit. Okay, we're going to stick these on. Now these are going to extend past the white just a little bit, so I just want to make sure that the border along the bottom and the sides is the same. You can see that it extends past the white on each side, and I love the look of that. Okay, catch up these other 2 cards. Let's do this. Just like this, and one more. Just like this. This one, oh, I love this one. I love this print. So cute. Okay, let's work on our greetings. So we're gonna just use our scissors. I'm just gonna use my paper snips, and I'm just going to put some little flagged ends on these. Just like that. And I'm gonna stack them in little piles so I know which one goes to which card. So we'll do this one first. This one is going to go on the right side of the card, sending a big honkin' thanks, which I think is so cute. And then the goosebumps, just a little banner on these. This stamp set, the Silly Goose stamp set, has so many cute little greetings in it. If you love puns, this one is so good for that. Okay, one more, guys. Then we're going to be ready to assemble. Okay. Perfect, there we go. Okay, now for the Goosebumps ones, I'm actually going to use some of the liquid adhesive because it's a pretty small, skinny strip, and I'm just going to adhere this down nice and flat. So just a little bit of glue on the back. This is just going to go right at the top of that DSP, just like that. So we're going to do all 3 of these all together. If I can pick this one up. A little bit of glue on the back of this. The great thing about this Stamp-A-Stack too is that you're going to get 12 6x6 sheets of that Dandy Designs DSP. So you're going to get to choose which patterns you want to use for your cards. And if you want to use different patterns for the different cards, that's okay. You can cut them however you want. That's the great thing about this Stamp-A-Stack. Okay, so we have half of our greeting on. Now for these, I'm going to do some dimensionals. You can see I did a little bit of stamping back there, a little oopsie. So there's 2 sides of cardstock. That's the benefit. I'm actually going to use these edge pieces. I'm just going to cut a few of these edge pieces, and we're going to put these on the back. The edge pieces are great for skinny little pieces like this. They really adhere it down well. And they're pretty much the perfect size for these. So I'm going to peel off all of those backings. And then all we need to do is stick these on, and I'm going to stick it on right over that twine. Just like that. And that bow kind of right in the middle should meet right where that flag is. Isn't that fun? Now if you wanted to put these greetings on before adhering it down, you can, just so you can kind of arrange that bow. If you want to rearrange it, that's okay too. You can totally do that. That's perfectly fine. And if you want to kind of tack down that bow so it doesn't do too much moving around, you can also add a glue dot to the back of that bow, and that'll hold it in place. This one I'm going to trim just a little bit, and let's see, I'm going to trim these ends just a little bit. I think that one's good, and this one I think is good. I'm not going to worry about those. All right, so the final touch for these cards is our iridescent rhinestones. Now you're going to get 30 of these iridescent rhinestones in your kit, so you can use them however you want, wherever you want. That is up to you. I'm going to do 3 on each card. I'm going to do 1 right above the greeting on the right, 1 over there, and then 1 above the greeting on the left. Okay, and our final card to finish up this one, and 2 and 3. Perfect. So that completes card number 2 in this Silly Goose Stamp-A-Stack. So you end up with 3 of these. And I have my other 3 here. Aren't they adorable? I just love them. All right, guys, make sure you join me tomorrow where we are going to make 3 of this card. All right, guys, have a great day. I'll see you later. Bye.